5:15 p.m. Wednesday afternoon. I got my shipping container home here, but as you can see, I decided to rig it with some scrap pieces of corrugated steel from when I cut out the walls inside of the container home. It's pretty windy. There's the occasional strong gust, like that one. Oh boy. Don't want these pines to come falling down. But they're swaying. I am technically in the hurricane now, but it's nothing too crazy, honestly. But yeah, I kind of whooped this up together over the last 3 days, kind of gauging the intensity, whether or not I'd have to do it. But it's a bit of a rig. Disclaimer, this is not a well thought out system. This is not advice on how to put shutters up, let alone for a container home. This is literally a last ditch desperate thing I had to concoct. Basically, it's just, as you can see, it's just panels of shutters, essentially. They're basically the cutouts from when I was building the container home. These are the internal walls of the containers I had to chop out. And they're certainly serving me well at this moment. I didn't give these away, I still had them. Here comes another gust. Wow. Yeah, pretty good. The sliding doors, the main sliding doors of the house, happened to be very close to the edge corner. So I was able to actually take advantage. Wow, that is a hell of, oh wow, look at that. Woo! You never know when one of these pines will fall. I've had a few fall on my property over the last 2.5 years that I've been out here. So you don't know what it's going to take to send it crashing. Usually when they're dead pines, like that one there, they do come down with enough wind, but that one's still standing. This is what I did here. As you can see, I didn't want to drill holes in the container to attach these two, so I had to, by pure chance, pure luck. Well, I recently built the fence for my property, and this is some leftover like fence wiring, so it's pretty durable stuff. I just drilled a hole in the corner. As you can see, I drilled a hole in the bottom corner of this container panel, looped this steel wire through, and I was able to actually, wow, it's windy. It's windy. I was able to literally loop it through the corner cube of the shipping container. So it's locked in there. And of course I did it at the top too. I'll show you. So you can see, looped it through up there. And before they wanted to fall over, but once I looped them in, they ain't going nowhere. I attached two of them together here, these two together at the bottom, and then here at the corners where there's a gap for me to get in and out, at the bottoms I just attached them. I looped them down into the joists under the deck that are attached literally to the beam that runs across the shipping container. Again, this is a rigging. This is not professional advice. This is just a random video showing what I concocted. Do not recommend this at all. I don't even know if this is a good idea technically. Anyways, same thing on this one. Drilled the hole through, looped it down, attached it to the joist that's part of the deck, but also bolted into the beam that runs the full length of the container. That beam down there, full length. Unfortunately, what I didn't want to do was, I didn't want to have to drill any holes in this angle iron here. These are the sliding doors. You can see they're kind of angle ironed and welded into place. But unfortunately, it got windy enough, even though I had all these other things that didn't require drilling any holes into the house. even though I had all of these without the holes. Pretty damn windy right now, look at that. This whole thing actually came falling forward with a gust of wind. It was still holding as it was tilting, but it was like 4 feet off the house, being held by everything else. Oh boy. I tell you, after a long hot summer, this breeze, this hurricane breeze does feel nice. After this whole thing toppled but was still held, I'm like, I gotta put one over here, but there's no place to anchor it up here. On this top corner, I anchored it to the corner cube that has the hole in there. So I didn't want to drill a hole through the angle iron. That's part of this, but I ended up having to do it. You can see the hole right there. I just pulled out a drill bit, drilled the hole, and then drilled a hole through here, and I was able to secure the top corner. And now this whole thing, it does not not going anywhere. And guess what? I had to do it on the back of the house too. Let me show you. Just wired up there. Boy, oh boy. So yeah. Anyways, I just kind of bored, wanted to show you guys that. It would be a great experiment if one of these pine trees fell in the container home, just to see what kind of damage it would do. But I am not in any way hoping that happens. This is not advice. I don't suggest anybody do this. This is honestly, this is a little bit absurd, but I think it's going to at least protect in case some projectile comes flying. But definitely a impromptu idea. So yeah.